Greetings, people of Earth. It's Dr. Radium back for another episode of Comics Cavalcade. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all your comments and subscriptions. We've got a really big pull week this past week, so let's jump right in. This is our pull list for March 26th, I believe it was, this past Wednesday. First book's up, as usual, Mrs. Radium's books. First one is Justice League Dark number 40. We usually don't get variant covers, but the regular one issue was out. So we got the variant cover for the same cover price. This is the movie poster swipe from Beetlejuice. She also got Earth 2 World's End number 25. Multiversity Ultra Comics. Clive Barker's Nightbreed, number 11. Crossed Badlands, number 74. Wolverine's number 12. Second to last issue of Deadpool, number 44. And Adventure Time, number 38. We crossed over on a few books this week. First is Darth Vader number 3. Introducing this new character and new droids here on the front. This has really been a great series so far. We're both enjoying it a whole lot. Arkham Manor number 6, last issue of this series. It was originally scheduled for an ongoing series, but this premise was just not going to be able to carry its own weight for the long run, so wasn't too surprised when they pulled the plug and said it was going to just be 6 issues. Next, we both got Gotham by Midnight. You see the Spectre's finally made his appearance there. Really liking this one. The art on this is very atmospheric, very moody. Really enjoying it. And my first book this week is Hit 1957. I've really been looking forward to this book. Love noir, love crime stories. The previews, the solicitation on this really grabbed me. Picked it up Wednesday at the store, opened it up, and the art in it inside is atrocious. I'm hoping that the story is going to be enough to save it, but don't have a whole lot of hope there. It's only 4 issues, so I'm going to try to stick it out. My next book is Autumn Land's Tooth and Claw number 5. Another one I'm having a really good time with. Goners number 6. And Witches number 5. This one is turning out to be a really good, creepy, scary story. It makes you scared to walk through the forest. If you haven't read it, I highly suggest it. Also had Rumble number 4 and October Faction number 5. Alright, some of the books that I'm stockpiling right now, waiting, I'm not caught up on them. Captain Victory and his Galactic Rangers, number 6. Captain Midnight, number 21. Batman 66, number 21. I'm way behind on Batman 66, and I don't know why I keep putting it off, because they're all just one-shot stories. So I may actually start diving into this one with this issue. I've just been putting it off for some reason, and I don't know why. Also have Secret Origins number 11. This may be the last issue. I'm not sure. Maybe one more issue left. Last issue of G.I. Zombie. I love this character, G.I. Zombie. This was a very good series. I'm hoping that they bring him back some way, in some form, after Convergence. Maybe, I think it would work really well with Justice League Dark. Gonna keep my fingers crossed on that one. Flash number 40. Of all the DC books that will end and get restarted, rebooted, whatever's going to happen after Convergence, I'm looking forward to Flash the most. Not because I'm enjoying this one, because I'm not enjoying it. It's just really gone off the rails, and it really needs to be reset and have a new direction for it. Marvel books this month, this week, Guardians of the Galaxy number 25, Black Vortex chapter 7. I've really been liking this Black Vortex crossover, but in chapter 6, things started to get a little bit muddy, jumping around between 3 separate merged, split up teams between the X-Men and the Guardians. I think just having so many weekly books, like this week alone, there's 3 Black Vortex chapters out. I think the scheduling and the cooperation between the different writers just may have got a little bit lost here. So, I also have Nova 28, chapter 8, and Legendary Star-Lord number 10, which is chapter 9. Inhuman number 13. Looks like Havoc down there on the bottom, maybe. We'll see. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. Daredevil number 14. This is a great series. Love it. I haven't looked inside yet, but that sort of looks like Boomerang maybe there in that pod. Secret Avengers number 14. With Secret Wars coming up, I can't wait for MODOK Assassin. That's one of the ones I'm looking forward to the most. Uncanny X-Men number 32. Amazing X-Men number 18. And New Avengers number 32, all those leading up to Secret Wars, just 2 more months. Kicking off, I believe, on Free Comic Book Day. Independence, we have Black Hood number 2. First issue was really good. Really set up the backstory of why this cop became a vigilante. This issue should start fleshing out the first story arc. Django and Zorro number 5. This series has been okay. Nothing great, nothing spectacular, but it's been a fun read. Popeye Classics number 32. Always one of the first books I read every month when it comes in. Another Altered State one-shot, The Shadow. This is taking the Shadow and putting him into a future setting. And the last book this week was Doctor Who, the 11th Doctor, number 10. Of the 3 Doctor Who series out so far, the 10th, 11th, and 12th, this is probably my second favorite. Really liking the 10th. 12th, the last story arc really didn't grab me, but just read the first one of the new story arc about the fractures, and it looks promising, so I'm hoping it gets a little bit better. Okay, some recent acquisitions. Some of my favorite, one of my favorite characters is Superman. Actually, he's my favorite character above all others. And one thing I love about him is there's so many different iterations of Superman. There's, you know, the 30s, the 40s, and one of the things I love is the wacky 70s stuff. And some of the crazy covers that came out back in the 70s. This is one I've been looking for a while. Finally found it on eBay at a great price. Action Comics number 454, 1975. Awesome cover there by Bob Oxner. Superman just shoveling in the hamburgers fast as he can eat them, and you got a whole dozens of waitresses coming out of a McDonald's-like restaurant, just bringing him more hamburgers. That's a crazy cover. Now this one, next one here, I have searched and searched for a decent copy of. This one's an okay copy. I'd like to have a better copy, but I think it's one of the most inappropriate comic book covers probably ever produced. It is Action Comics number 457. Another Bob Oskner cover, and I mean, just look at it. I don't have to say much more about it. It's just so inappropriate. But you have to look at it and smile. The 70s were a great time for Superman. Also picked up Action Comics number 583. Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. I already had Superman number 423, the other part of that. But I'd never had the Action Comics one, so now I can read that. Really looking forward to it. Supposed to be one of the best Superman stories ever written. Alan Moore, Kurt Swan art there on Action Comics, just can't act. And also on the Superman, you can't really ask for much more than that. This next group of comics I've picked up after hearing about them, reviews of them on a podcast I listened to, Traveling Through the Bronze Age, and they review wacky Bronze Age comics. And this is a 4-issue series from Atlas Comics called Iron Jaw. And he's basically like a Conan type of character. The writing in this is just so ridiculous. It goes beyond to absurd sometimes, and it's one of those things that's just so bad it's good. So after hearing the reviews, I just had to find this series. On the plus side, for any collectors out there, issues 1 and 2, actually those are Neil Adams covers. So there's a little bit of redeeming value in this series. Other than that, you just read it for the campiness, for the fun. Picked this up at my local store this past Wednesday. Marvel Spotlight number 28. Moon Knight's first solo appearance. Werewolf by Night 32 is a little bit out of my price range right now, so this is the next best thing I like. I really love Moon Knight. Doug Mensch wrote the story here in this issue. Really good shape. I'd say it's at least fine, maybe fine minus. Got it for $15, so it wasn't too bad of a deal. Also had one more eBay purchase this week. Another Liv Gleason publication, Crime and Punishment number 38 from 1951. I love these old crime comics. They're just awesome. And this is a pre-code comic, but you can see here, right, this star, it says, let's see if it'll focus on there, conforms to the comics code, authorized ACMP. Well, the Comics Code didn't, this is published in 1951, the Comics Code didn't go into effect until 1954, but the persecution of the comics industry for contributing to juvenile delinquency was well underway by 1951, and actually a few years before that. So in 1948, all the magazine publishers, comic publishers, got together and tried to, they saw that a governing body was going to probably be forced upon them, so they tried to preempt it and regulate themselves. So in 1948 they formed the Association of Comics Magazine Publishers, and they wrote their own Comics Code prior to the Comics Code that we all know that went into effect in 54. And they based theirs on Hollywood's Hays Code that Hollywood used prior to the rating system. This code from 48 was not as strict as the 54 code, and it was basically just for show. It really wasn't enforced all that much. But they saw the way things were going, and they thought they'd try at least to stem the tide a little bit. Didn't help. Okay, one more book here, and this is, I can almost guarantee, the largest book on eBay this week. Can't see all that, huh? Well, I have to zoom out, see how much we can get this in. This is the complete Little Nemo by Winsor McCay. This book is huge. Huge. Just to give you an idea, this is the regular Golden Age full-size comic, and that is the book right there. We've been wanting this book for a long time. It's like well over a $200 book, almost close to $300 book, and we found a really good sale on this on Amazon. I think it was a one-day sale, so we jumped on it. This is all 549 Sunday strips from the Little Nemo in Slumberland series, and 708 pages. It weighs 18.3 pounds. It even comes in its own big cardboard suitcase, so you can carry it around. It also came with a companion book about the life of Winsor McCay, and the art in these stories are just amazing. Let's see if I can show some. I mean, there's some really nice ones there. A nice Santa Claus strip. I mean, this type of art, I mean, it's just masterpiece art. And this used to run in Sunday papers. I mean, can you imagine today anyone putting the effort and taking the time to put something this well crafted into the daily papers? It's just, something that's, never going to happen again. So we're going to dive into this one and read all of Little Nemo's adventures. Again, Little Nemo adventures in Slumberland. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't like it, go ahead and hit the thumbs down button. If it's your first time and you liked it, go ahead and subscribe. All those are appreciated. You can leave comments and questions down below, or you can contact me directly at drradium@gmail.com. So thanks for tuning in. This is Dr. Radium, tuning out.